Leading up to the UVA game, thought we had a really, really great week of preparation in regards to preparing for a top 25 defense. In addition to it being, somewhat of a rowdy environment, just because it was going to be a lot of seniors, last game there at that stadium. In addition to playing up, into the ACC conference, we've had some success against those teams in years past. And so it was an awesome week of preparation, getting our guys geared up to go and play in a great venue. Obviously, we're not happy with the results, but we're really, really pleased with the way our guys fought. Regardless of what the score was, our guys fought the entire game, and that's all you can ask for when you go into a hostile environment such as that. In regards to this week's opponent, we're playing the SEC. That's what you want. That's what you're looking for when you step on the stage in FBS football. Is the biggest and brightest stars of tomorrow we get an opportunity to line up next to, and that's all you can ask for as a player, as a coach. Anyone in the organization gets opportunity to compete against the best. It's exciting, and we're going to have our hands full because you have a really, really talented defense full of veterans, guys that play a lot of football together, and in order to beat these kind of teams, you got to win the one-on-one matchups when you get in that opportunity in that situation. You got to make somebody miss. You got to win on the edge on the perimeter, and you got to win on your individual assignment. So I know we're excited. We're geared up. Our guys were fired up Sunday, just kind of meeting and watching some of the tape on these guys. Everyone's fired up to go play against a really, really good opponent.
It was pretty clear. It's been pretty clear throughout the weeks that your rushing offense has gotten better from last year. But to go up there and break 200 yards on them, only the third team all year to do that, did it, I don't want to say validate that finding that your rushing offense is better, but did it kind of add to that, if that makes sense?
Yeah, every week we go into each game thinking, hey, it's we got to solve the puzzle. How we do it's going to be a little bit different this week than it was in weeks past, but we know that in order to have success, we're going to have to run the football, and we got to figure out a way to get our guys lined up and matched up versus their best guys, and then create this illusion of this and that while being able to run the football, on the perimeter and downhill. And so, last week was just another example of us figuring out how we wanted to solve the puzzle and our guys buying into it, believing it, and then executing it.
As a follow-up to that, how were you able to kind of solve that puzzle against them, and what led you to believe that you could go in there and have success running the ball on them?
Well, they're top 25 defense. And with that being said, they're going to be sound in how they fit the run. And so in order to attack teams that are really, really sound and fit in the run, you got to get them to move. You got to get their eyes to kind of get displaced. You can't allow them to have confidence in their assignment just by lining up a certain way. And so you're going to have to create this illusion of, hey, this is happening over here. Hey, we got to get this happening over there. Get it all communicated, and you got to do so relatively fast. If you get guys misaligned because they're trying to get things communicated, they're a step slow. They're not as confident as they would be if everything was just static. And so that's how we were able to rush the ball really well last week, is just we got them to be just one step slower than they normally would be had we just lined up in a static formation.
Is that going to be a key this week against Auburn, to line up in those different formations and try to get them off balance and sustain that run game that really for the past 4 weeks has been really key to this team's success?
Certainly, that's going to have to be part of the game plan, like it is every week. Is you can't always just line up in the same formations and allow people to just attack you. That's just that's not good football. And so it's going to have to be a fine mixture of switching some things up, playing with some tempo, slowing some things down, and then at the end of the day, when you get put in a one-on-one situation, whether you're a back, tight end, quarterback, receiver, you got to make your play. So this week is going to be a combination of a lot of things you've seen in weeks past. Maybe some new wrinkles as well.
Coach, when you look back at that 4th-and-1 play call deep in your own territory, watching the film on it, are you happy with the play call? Obviously not happy with the result, but is that something you dial back up? And also, did your guys execute the way they should have on that play despite not converting? And was it just the UVA player made a better play?
Yeah, I thought it was a solid call by Coach Gill for us to go for it. We were all, as a program, fired up and excited to go for it again in our own territory. I wouldn't change anything about the play call. The gentleman who made a break on the football did a phenomenal job. I thought we had the right play on. Whether we handed it off or we threw it out there was leverage to throw it, and there was, they had one more guy in the box than we had to be able to count for and block it up. So we were good with the decision for him to throw the ball. Just, talented football players going to read and recognize things, and then, go and make a play, and that's what he did.
Coach Gill talked a lot about Auburn's size up front, the big guys that you guys are going to have to battle this week. How big of a concern is that for you?
Well, when you watch the tape, there's three things that stand out, when you watch SEC football. Number one, the quality of collisions. I mean, when guys hit each other, I mean, there's going to be some movement, So when you see the quality of collisions and then you see the movement created, and then you see the athleticism guys have to react and adjust, off the movement created, it's different. There's a noticeable difference in the twitch. So with that being said, they have great size, great length, and great twitching. So, block duration is going to be a concern. How long can we stay on these blocks? Our ability to, hit the course and the landmark as a back. Trust that, they're going to stay on their guy and we're going to hit it and get on the second and third level of the defense. The QB's confidence in his ability to put the ball, in the designed targeted area and our guy to get there, because there's a unique difference when you play a team of this caliber, and it comes down to executing and believing in each other and everyone doing their job.
Two questions on Buckshot. The first was on that specific play, his first interception in the red zone, first quarter, I believe it was, or it looked like it was a screen pass maybe intended for AGG. What happened on that play? And then also he's obviously struggled the last 3 games with ball security and his interceptions. What's been your message to him to try to get him back on track?
Yeah, to recap those 3, the first one you're talking about, we had a screen set up to the boundary. We were trying to get the defensive end's hands down. And so we threw, and we didn't knock him down completely. And so he was able to still be in the window to throw the football. So Buckshot thought he could throw it, get a little bit higher. Obviously, he missed targeted and it went much higher than it should have been thrown. But, hindsight being 20/20, he confessed that he wished he would have just, since we couldn't get that guy's hands down, just throw it on the ground. And we still got the football, kick a field goal, and go about our business. The second one I want to say, it was going in the opposite direction. We were targeting B.J. Farrell, on a read route, and he didn't have confidence in the ball location where he should have put it, and he floated it up there, and when you're teaching guys, throwing the football down the middle, hey, it can't hang very long. It's got to get up and down, and that's another one he would love to have back because he realized there was a great opportunity to get the football to his hands, and who knows what happens after he gets it. He may make one miss and go for 6, but for sure, first down and so forth. And then the last one, it was on our sideline going in that same direction, but we were backed up. We had a read route on there, and, Antonio decided to take it vertical, and the defender squeezed Antonio and pushed him to the sideline. And so once that happens, your reception area is dramatically, reduced. And Buckshot was just trying to give him an opportunity to be able to get the football. But because he got pushed out of bounds, there was no opportunity for AGG to even be able to get to that football. So obviously you don't like to throw any interceptions. But every time you throw one, it's a teachable moment for a number of people. 1, as the coordinator and the quarterback coach. 2, as the player himself. And then 3, as a program, is understand, hey, listen, when a turnover happens, in your favor or not, we have to figure out a way to capitalize on that. For the defense, it's unfortunate, but it's an opportunity for them to get a stop for us. Offensively, when the defense gets a turnover, hey, we got to push the ball. They just did something really well in our favor. We got to go push the ball down in there and score.
When a defense takes away AGG like UVA did this past Saturday, for Buckshot to still go out there and have success, I mean, what does he have to do to be able to still distribute the football? And is that something that he maybe struggled with a little bit on Saturday?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that UVA took him away by any means. We didn't go into the game plan thinking, hey, we got to throw to AGG every play in order for us to win that game. We went into that game thinking we're going to run this football. And when they decide to take guys out of the sky and get involved in the run game, then we'll throw it to AGG and BJ and Caleb. But it was not, a designed game plan for us to get it to AGG and for us to win. We knew it was going to be by committee in order to win that football game. But when teams do decide to go that route and try to take him away, then you got to be effective in running the football and throwing opposite his way. That's just kind of how it works. And the old adage of one hand wash the other, that's really what it comes down to when you play in this system is, he's eliminating two guys, which means, okay, I got to go do my job because now there's a one-on-one opportunity somewhere else for me to win.
Nick Coe, their pass rusher, number 91, is going to be out this week, but they have so much depth. I mean, it's just a kind of a different animal when you play SEC schools. That said, though, that position that he plays, how vital is that to what they do, and what kind of an effect do you think it might have on the game?
Yeah, those guys get off the football now. I mean, the initial twitch and surge and burst off the line of scrimmage when that ball snapped is a noticeable difference. And obviously he created a unique force getting up the field and forcing tackles to really get out of their set and get on him fast. But that's probably not going to be no different than the next guy that comes in or the guy that's playing down 3 and a 1 and the next 5 or 9 technique. And so for us, like I alluded to earlier, block duration. How long can I stay on my block in the run and pass game across the board, up front, and then on the perimeter of the field, for us to be able to execute, get open, read the blocks right, and make plays.
Key to get Buckshot's confidence back, just to get him on a roll again, and then that way he's making better decisions. And like you alluded to with the pass to Farrow over the middle, he feels confident in trying to get into certain windows.
Yeah, I don't think it's a lack of confidence that he struggles with when it comes to passing. I think it just has to do with being familiar and confident in the reception area and his ability to get it there on time and his receivers to get there on time. When there's confidence in your assignment as a QB and confidence in the assignment of your teammates, getting there, there's a uniqueness that takes place in the sense that everyone's clicking, and you can see throughout the season when there's confidence by everyone in their assignments, it's a lot of fun to watch. But if there's any hesitation or any reservations in your own assignment or theirs, that's when there leads to a miscommunication or a lack of execution.
How much man coverage they play? Is it a vital part of the game plan for your wideouts to win the one-on-ones?
Yeah, they play dude coverage. I mean, that's just what they do. I mean, they got dudes, and they want to line up against your dudes and see if their dudes are better than yours. So that's just what they do, and that's probably the nature of the SEC. When they've gotten beat this season, it's because guys lost their matchups. I mean, you go back and watch a lot of those games, a lot of those touchdowns, man coverage, and a guy got beat. In the run game, he made somebody miss who was assigned for the back. They're playing man coverage, and no one's looking at the ball, they're looking at their man. Well, if the guy who's got the back misses his man, he's running down the middle of the field, and it happened a number of times. In the pass game, they're in position to make plays, and oftentimes the guy came down with the ball, and the guy missed on the rake or the club or the pull, and it ended in a big play or a touchdown. But vice versa with the games that they did win, this past season, they came up with those big plays in one-on-one situations. There was a TFL. There was a catch and then the rake and knock the ball out. And so when they're losing football games defensively, it's because they're missing their one-on-one opportunity. But when they're winning, it's because they're making the most of it and they're winning.
Joey asked Robert about simulating the crowd noise in a away venue. A little bit different, though, when the visiting offense is on the field at a venue like this. How happy have you been with the cadences this year, and anything special you'll try to work on in practice this week to simulate that?
Yeah, certainly we're going to pipe in crowd noise into the stadium and indoor in order to duplicate, what that environment's going to be like. Been very pleased with our operations throughout the entire year. Very few false starts. I think there was just one last week. I think Ben Fiordelise created that one. But, we're a creature of habit, and so our guys are used to, the same mannerisms and the play call structure and how it's communicated. For the most part, they have a really good understanding of the timing of when the ball should be snapped and things of that nature. And so I've been very, really pleased with that. Hopefully we finish out the season, with very little errors.
You try to get Mitchell Lewis a carrier too?
He's home. he's home, so we'll see.